What's up, everyone? Shoe Booty Sports coming at you Tuesday afternoon. I guess this counts as afternoon.
Yeah. Afternoon.
Yeah, not per the always in the afternoon, but per the always on Tuesday. I'm Graham Powell on this screen. That's Bradley Brown on the other. Say what's up, Bradley.
What's happening?
A few things here and there before we get going. Y'all know the routine. We're going to give a quick shout out to our sponsor, Shoe Booty Sports, is presented by Rhino Races. Rhino Races is a virtual race series that offers five different races: a 5K, 10K, half marathon, a marathon, and the one of a kind, Rhino Ultra. You can sign up for one or all five of their races at rhinoraces.com. Run your race at your convenience, track it with your fitness app of choice, screenshot your results as proof of completion, submit that screenshot to rhinoraces.com. Under the submit results section, once your results are verified by Rhino Races staff, your award will be shipped to you by mail. Also, check out their gear section while you're there for t-shirts, wristbands, decals, and more. That's rhinoraces.com. Rhino Races is the premier virtual running series. You can find us, Shoe Woody Sports, on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow us on X at Shoe Booty Sports. Okay. Uh, you were telling me the first time that we tried to get this thing started, I had a blooper on the start, so we had to restart it. Full transparency. You are working out. You said you had gotten back from the gym, correct?
Yes. Been going to the gym for the last couple of weeks. Not like
Sure.
hardcore, just kind of easing myself into it. Like 3 days a week, 4 days a week, so I don't get burned out. And so I'm not like ridiculously sore and can still move. But yeah, I've been going to the gym, sitting in the sauna, doing all that good stuff, trying to feel better.
What gym?
Highway 12 gym. It's just down the road from my house. So they've got about just anything you can think of. They even have posing rooms for people who want posing rooms. Not going to be me. So
Yeah, I guess that's a good thing. The gym went back in the days that I was a trainer, a personal trainer. I believe it or not, I was one of those for those of you watching on Spotify and YouTube. We had a group fitness room, and that was just supposed to be for fitness classes whenever we had those. And guys that some of the meatheads, not all, but some of the meatheads, and these guys were in fact meatheads, uh, would always go in there and do their poses, and which I was, I didn't think too much of it, but there was one, there was one day in particular, a couple of them were in there together in nothing but their underwear. And this is a glass, I mean, like glass windows all over. And my buddy, like I was about to go in there as well. My buddy beat me to it. He goes in there, who also worked there. Because guys, there are kids in here. There are kids and like high school kids working out, like girls too. Like, put your clothes on. Don't do this here. That was
yeah,
dumb as hell. So I, I, I guess it's good to have a posing room. I don't
it's
know.
like a small section curtained off.
Well, I mean, that's all you need. It's not like there's going to be a whole lot of people doing it.
Exactly. And
It's
it's on the second floor. It's out everybody's way. Um, so yeah, I haven't seen anybody in there. Of course, I don't look. It's as far as I go upstairs is to the sauna, and all that crap is past the sauna. So
Well, I have multiple friends that do the bodybuilding competitions, so I'm not knocking it. I understand like that, like they practice that type of thing. It's not something I would want to do personally, but I mean they enjoy doing it, and I mean whatever motivates you to get in the gym. But yeah, if sure posing room, cool. Keeps you away from getting down to your underwear and posing with kids running around the gym. So good for your gym. Okay,
I'm glad they did it that way.
yeah, I would imagine so. I I haven't done anything since Sunday. We'll get to this. This kind of counts as sports, right? I guess. I haven't done anything since Sunday. I did do the Little Rock Marathon Sunday. I was I ran both days. I ran the 10K Saturday. I ran the marathon Sunday. I somehow placed in the 10K in my age group. I was just taking it easy. Like I just said, I'm gonna go out there. I'm gonna have like a 55-minute 10K, and it ended up being 52-48. I think the chip time was. And then just looking at the results, I was like, wow, I got third. Like I wasn't running hard or anything.
Like, so
And
what's your time normally? Like 42, 43?
well, not that fast, but like my PR is like 46 something for a 10K, 46 something. 5K at at our hometown last year, it was 2140. So yeah, 46 something is my PR in that. And then Sunday I just paced. I paced the Little Rock Marathon, which of course people came from all over for that. I think the report was that the city brought in like $7 million just from food, lodging, all that, just from people coming in. The race itself, and people come from all over because Little Rock is known for having. I mean, they are. I mean, it's confirmed. Little Rock has the Little Rock Marathon has the world's largest marathon medal. And for those of you wondering what that looks like on Spotify and YouTube, this is what it looks like.
Holy crap.
Yeah, that was this year's medal. It's as big as my head. Again,
Do they just progressively get bigger every year?
now they've been this size for a while, but I mean it's a good size, like diameter wise, but it's heavy too. It is three and a
Yeah.
half. It's all of 3.5 pounds. I mean, you can see the width of it here, and this isn't plastic. If you hit somebody in the head with this, they're going out cold. But yeah, this is the metal. This is why people come from all over to do this race. I wasn't crazy about this one when I saw it when they did the medal reveal. They always do a big medal reveal and make a big deal of it because I mean, Little Rock's known for the medal, right? So I wasn't crazy about it when they did the reveal. Just I don't like the look of that, especially some of the ones I've had in the past. That was my seventh Little Rock marathon, I think, the full marathon, and that was I think one of my least favorite designs. And then I got it in person. I was like, wow, this looks a lot better in person than like in photos and videos. So I was very pleased with it once I actually got it. I
Yeah,
mean,
it
I
looked like
was
it had a lion and dragon on it. What more else could you want?
yeah, some fairy babes on it. I mean, what? Yeah, what else? The line in the middle roaring. Yeah, a dragon. It was pretty cool. But it just the pictures. They didn't look good in the pictures. I don't know why, but they just didn't. But seeing it in person, I was like, okay, this metal pops. I really like it. So I haven't done anything since Sunday. I will get back to my running tomorrow. I'll get a 5 mile run in tomorrow. At some point after work, I got to get an oil change after work because I'm pretty sure I'm coming to your hood this weekend. I have a new
Oh, is that
niece.
this weekend
This
or
what's yeah.
the half marathon or the marathon?
No, Hog is April something. I don't remember. April 5th, maybe 4th. I don't
Oh,
remember.
when's the race where you finish inside Razorback Stadium?
Did you not get the email about that? This is a sports show, everybody, but yeah, we're discussing life too.
No.
Okay. That was supposed to be this weekend. It was supposed to be this weekend. It got fully canceled. This was months ago when this happened. I can't believe you didn't get that email or that I didn't say anything to you about it. But it got canceled and you got refunded for it. Like you should have gotten a refund.
Oh, I didn't notice.
Yeah. So yeah, they gave that $75 back, but what they said was their reasoning was we just haven't mapped everything out the way that we should yet. Give us another year to get this right, and we're going to come back, and then you can sign up then. And I think they also needed to maybe fix the date too. I think that was originally the problem, was there was a conflict with the date, which that's part of the reason Hawkeye left Fayetteville. It's so hard to schedule things like that in the city of Fayetteville. It's so much
Yes.
easier to do it outside. So there, I think there was a conflict with the date or a permit type of thing. It might have had something to do with permits too, or that. I don't remember. This was months ago. So I'm surprised that I'm surprised that you're. Is that why you were training? Was it because
No,
of this? Okay. Well, so if so, you got more time to train now. But yeah, they just fully canceled it and said we'll be back. Target date is next year. I think they said we'll be back next year. But yeah, they just fully canceled the thing. I do have my pace sign behind me. I didn't do that on purpose to get in the shot. I just had it. I was like, well, because I've got a
sure.
bunch of pace signs right here, like a bunch of.
Advertising liquid 4. I see you over there.
Yeah. Well, that Liquid Four is very good stuff. They were the
It is.
sponsor for. They were the pace team sponsor. So yeah, I wore a yellow shirt Sunday with Liquid IV over it, and they said, "You just like when you wear your bib, just do not cover that Liquid IV. That's our sponsor." And their tent was right by our pace booth, which was nice because I could just go over and get Liquid IV. Um, I'm a
I
big
just
fan.
hate that it's so expensive
It
for what
is,
it is.
it is,
It's
but I didn't
good.
have. Yeah, I didn't have to pay for it Saturday or Friday, so that was pretty cool. Uh, they have an orange creamsicle Liquid IV flavor. It's amazing.
I
It's
like the
like
strawberry one.
well, the orange creamsicle is like those Flintstone push pops. It's that in drink form, in liquid IV form. It's excellent. So anyway, so that's athletic ish. So, but I mean, we're yeah, it's our show. We're gonna do whatever the hell we want.
Yep.
Sports world. Checking the ESPN app when I got onto today, just when I was trying to figure out what to talk about, other than Arkansas getting smoked by Florida, which we'll discuss a little bit. Kyler Murray is going to be released by the Cardinals. Did you see that?
Yes, I heard it on Pat McAfee this morning or at noon, whenever he comes on. Yeah, it's there's going to be a lot of QBs on the move this offseason because it sounds like Tua is going to be out at Miami. We still don't know what the Vikings are going to do. I don't know. I don't know. Indy's going to re-sign Danny Dime, so Anthony Richardson, he might have to find a new backup gig. But yeah, there's going to be a lot of movement, and apparently Raiders are looking for a new one because Geno Smith's probably out the door. Yeah, a lot of free agents on the move.
Well, Vegas has the number one pick, so I would imagine they would go Fernando Mendoza. I would think.
Yeah, you would think,
I would
but
kind of hate that for him,
did,
but at the same time, maybe it's a good
did
situation
you
because you don't want to go to the Jets.
did you see where someone in the press at the draft told him he should get arrested so that he could slide in the draft and not go to the Raiders?
I did not see that. That would be
Uh,
that would be way out of character for him, though,
oh yeah,
right?
Pavia. I don't know. I could see Pavia getting arrested. Of
I could definitely
course,
see Pavia getting arrested.
I definitely don't see him getting his name called at all at any round, but we'll see.
Yeah, it's now one like the Instagram threads. Like this was clickbait. Obviously, they did him dirty. They were like they were basically calling him trash at the combine, and they showed his one misfire throw, and he had completions after that. Now they weren't like
Was it the
spot on.
underthrow?
No, he just completely. I mean, it was way off. I think it was a sideline throw, just an out to the sideline, and he missed badly. But I mean, it was one throw. He completed the rest. Now they weren't great completions. You know, they. I don't know that they would have been complete in the NFL. You know, with actual corners out there, NFL corners. But it was clear clickbait to make the guy look bad. Um, he said Diego Pavia getting arrested. Um, yeah, I could and yeah, I could see Pavia if he were to get arrested. It'd probably be like some disorderly conduct, BS,
Yep.
something
Yep.
along those lines. Because
Drunk
he
and
doesn't.
disorderly.
Well, I don't know that he has a substance problem. Like Stetson Bennett clearly had a substance problem.
Definitely.
Um, He got arrested for like some goofball stuff, like a 19-year-old would get arrested for doing drinking. It's like, dude, you're 25 years old and you're getting arrested like this, like banging on people's doors drunk, and
Yeah.
you're a two-time national champion, and you're trying to get drafted by a team, and you do this BS. Like, come on, dude. And of course, Johnny Manziel was on everything, seemingly.
I think he was on just about everything. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't confirm just because I wasn't there, but the evidence strongly suggests that. But of those quarterbacks situations that are out there, it's smart for Indy to go ahead and sign Danny Dimes. Anthony Richardson isn't going to work. He can't play in this league as a starting quarterback, not right now or anytime soon. Um, yeah, so Indy had a great start. They started the year 7-1, so absolutely you re-signed Danny Dimes, and then injuries plagued you down the stretch. So um, Vegas, yeah, I think you have the number one pick, so you have options there at quarterback, and then you can just sign a vet, sign some vet that can teach what I would assume is a very teachable quarterback in the guy that they draft if it's Fernando Mendoza. Minnesota, yeah, if you're Minnesota, what do you do? Do you stick with JJ McCarthy, or do you just go ahead and say we've seen enough?
I mean, you can say you've seen enough as him as the starter for now. You need to bring in a veteran guy to at least so somebody he can at least learn from and give him another shot, maybe two years down the road. But for right now, he's not the answer.
No, he's not. That team is built to win right now, and you need to get a guy that can help you win right now. And I think that guy should be the guy that I suggested before the season started, before the last season started.
Yeah, his name is getting mentioned because last year there was some smoke surrounding his name. So
And that's
we'll
where he
see.
wanted to go.
But
That's where
it
Aaron Rodgers wanted
is.
to go. He wanted to go to Minnesota.
But
But
now
Minnesota
Pittsburgh brought in his buddy to be the head coach. So
but he had nobody to throw to in Pittsburgh, and he was clearly frustrated about it by the end of the
oh
year. Absolutely and he should have been. He absolutely should have been. Yeah, if I'm him, I would much rather be in Minnesota. I would take that if it's available. If I'm Minnesota, I'm saying, yeah, we got this wrong. Let's try to make it right. Let's give Aaron Rodgers a 1-year contract. See if he wants to come. He would come to that, I would think, right? Or I worded that really goofy. He would come to Minnesota for that opportunity. There's a year contract. Play your Hall of Fame quarterback that can play for a team ready to win right now. And JJ, you can learn from this guy. And then we'll find out when Rodgers is done. Then we'll find out if you're the answer or not. Because if you can't learn anything from Aaron Rodgers, then okay, it's just not going to work out. So I think that's the obvious solution. If I'm Minnesota, I'm just saying, hey, we got this wrong. We should have jumped, but we can jump on this now. Like, don't double down and say no. We're gonna continue to stick with. He's our guy. Um, you want to win games? Do you want to give yourself a better opportunity to win games now? If so, go get the proven winner. I mean, Pittsburgh wasn't that good of a team, and they went 10-7 and got into the playoffs. Now they looked awful in the playoffs, but the
yes,
Texans had a lot to do. The Texans defense had a lot to do with that. That's a nasty defense, and Pittsburgh's offense was pretty bad. Um, you had DK Metcalf, but okay, I'm an NFL defense coordinator. What am I going to do? Let's just take Metcalf away. Let's do what Belichick did to every receiver that his defense has played. Let's just double the guy. Let's take him out of the equation and just make the other guys beat us. And Pittsburgh oftentimes could not, or would have to find other ways to do that. So there's that situation in Minnesota. Where is Kyler Murray going to end up? Now he is He had a really good first couple of seasons in the league.
Mhm.
Played all 16 games. I think that's back when they played 16. I don't think he missed a game the first 2 seasons. He was injury plagued since then. I think he's played 6 seasons now, which is a little surprising to hear
Yeah,
that.
hard to believe. Yeah,
Wow, time flies. But he has been bitten by the injury bug since. And of course, a dual threat quarterback like that, you're going to have those problems eventually. But you look at his number, I mean, his record at Arizona was not good as a starting quarterback. He had a losing record as a quarterback, something like 30, 38 and 48 and one, something along those lines, 36, 48 and one of the around that. But 120 touchdown passes, I think 60 picks. So a 2-to-1 touchdown interception ratio in the NFL over 6 seasons. He says he thinks his best quarterback days are ahead of him. I don't know. He's talented. I'm taking a chance on him if I'm a team that needs a quarterback. Now, for how much money, I don't know. But considering all that, where could Kyler Murray end up next year? I'm intrigued by it.
I've heard, of course, the Raiders, since they think there's going to be a shakeup there, and of course, since they think Tua's out of the equation at Miami, there's possibility of them getting replacing a short quarterback with an even shorter quarterback with Kyler Murray. So who knows? Who knows?
What's the best fit for Kyler Murray? Okay, if you're a team needing a quarterback, let's play of all the quarterbacks available. And I don't have a list in front of me. I'm just thinking off the top of my head. Geno Smith is going to be available. You talking about a shakeup there? He looked good in
He's
Seattle.
an unknown. Yeah,
Looked terrible in Las Vegas. Um, Kyler Murray's the big one that sticks out as far as available. Quarterbacks available, free agents available. Um, but if you're a team needing a quarterback, who steps up for Kyler Murray? If you're making that decision, you're running a organization. Where would you say this guy's the best fit? And if you're Kyler Murray, where do you want to end up?
there's always the Jets, but I've been
I
hearing.
would
I don't
hate
know. All I've
that.
heard today is mainly Miami's really interested in him.
Only Miami. I've heard there's 2 teams. I don't know what those 2 teams are. Uh, I would think if you're Oakland, I would think if you're Vegas, you would be interested. But then again, if you got the number one pick, you can go get a quarterback. So you're not going to go give Kyler Murray a whole lot of money. So I don't see that happening. Miami, yeah, you're going from one short quarterback in Tua that's injury plagued to another short quarterback that's injury plagued. The only difference there, one I think Kyler, now Tua had some good years statistically.
He did, but then he had a lot of concussions there in
Yes,
a
he
short
did.
period of time, and they were scary concussions.
Yes, they
Like
were.
you wouldn't have thought twice. You wouldn't have thought twice about it if he would have said, "I choose to retire." You'd be like, "Okay, yeah, we understand."
Makes sense. So I don't know that and I don't know that I can say one's definitively better than the other. They seem like comparable quarterbacks as far as skill level. The only thing I would say difference wise is Kyler Murray is more elusive or used to be. We don't know how that knee really is, but surely he's still more elusive than Tua is. So he could escape those issues or, better or not come across those. I'm wording this poorly. Not have the same type of injuries, at least. Maybe,
You
but
would think.
then again, he keeps, I don't know, he's been hurt too. So it would almost feel like we're gonna just go get the same thing.
Yeah,
I
I would
just
agree with that.
yeah. I just played that out in my head and just vocally and just said, no, you're really getting the exact same scenario if you're Miami. I would think.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it'd bring in a little bit of excitement, to cover up the fact that you let your, you know, Tyreek Hill go. So he's not going to be at Miami anymore.
No, but I mean, yeah, a bum knee at this point. We don't know how that's gonna heal. It's one thing for a quarterback to have an ACL injury. It's another thing completely for a wide receiver that's known for his speed to have that type of injury. So it's an ACL injury is an ACL injury. You want both those guys to have healthy knees, but very different for a wide receiver. You use those legs and way more than a quarterback will every play. So, um, I don't see it making sense in Minnesota. Now, I'd rather have Kyler Murray than JJ McCarthy.
Yes.
Uh, but Minnesota is the most interesting one. That's the most interesting scenario. And it's basically going to be is Minnesota going to just double down and say, no, this is our guy? Or do they say, we're going to. Because that's the thing. You can go a different direction and still keep JJ McCarthy. So you really do have both options at a certain point. And JJ McCarthy has no leverage right now.
No. And I don't know is what all could JJ learn from Kyler if he went there? I think they're two different styles. I don't think that they would I don't think there would be that much to learn from Kyler to rub off on JJ.
No, not the same kind of player. Now McCarthy was elusive in college, but not of that caliber, not of Kyler Murray caliber. Uh, Kyler Murray was really good at Oklahoma that year that he won the Heisman, and he was really good at times in Arizona. Minnesota should do what I had originally said they should do. Go gauge Aaron Rodgers' interest. I think he would be very interested in that opportunity, and then let McCarthy learn from a future Hall of Fame quarterback, a guy who, and at the very least, to me, is a top 10 all-time quarterback. You got to make that happen if you're Minnesota. I would think anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. What else is going on in the sports world? Like my feed is loaded with NFL stuff right now, but there's a lot happening. We've got
Yeah,
March Madness approaching. I guess we can talk about Arkansas, Florida. That was supposed to be a big. Okay, Saturday was just a weird day. It was supposed to be this just lineup of games of really good matchups. Some of them not top 10, but number 1 Duke, number 11 Virginia. You're like, okay, this is going to be a big one. It was big, all right. I mean, Duke blew the brakes off of Virginia, man. I mean, they
not by
blew,
35 though.
and it was never close. Okay, I did the 10K race right Saturday, and I was not gonna get to hang out with my girlfriend this past weekend, but she was taking her new dog slash our new dog to like I don't know dog school, some obedience school, something. I don't know. He's
I
a
figured
good,
it trained with horses. Thing's huge.
yeah. Well, see, that's the he. Okay, we found out what he is. He is Great Pyrenees, and he's part Great Pyrenees, part Golden Retriever. So that's his breed. And I don't know. He's 9 months. He just turned 10 months old. He's like 80 pounds, and he's a big lovable goofball, and he just does what he wants to do. But he's a good dog. Like he doesn't tear things up. He doesn't pee and poop in the house, and he's not mean to other animals. He just wants to be friends. But sometimes he's just not going to listen to you. Like I've learned that you can ask him to do something, or say, "Hey, come here," and he's just not going to do it. He's just going to stand there. He has
I've
selective
got one
hearing.
of those.
Yeah, well, we were experiencing that. This place, this obedience, whatever lesson, because it wasn't like a school thing, was at something called the Bark Bar in Little Rock, which was actually a really cool spot because there were a lot of different dogs there. And Bumble is our dog's name, and he got to run around. and just play and with all of them and just have fun. He got to just let loose for a while, which I thought was cool. They had good food, like they had beer if you wanted that, and they had a big TV like or a big screen out front, and they were playing the Duke Virginia game, and it was not interesting at all. And so Duke blew them out. There was another that Kentucky Vanderbilt was on after that because I was there for about 2 hours. Because that was the only time I was going to get to see her this weekend. So I hung out for a while. Plus, it was just a cool vibe, cool place. That wasn't a good game. Kentucky was handling Vanderbilt pretty easy. And then the
Yep.
night game, Arkansas, Florida. Now, I did not think Arkansas would win that game. It was at Florida. Arkansas has not played well on the road all season. So
No.
I was thinking Arkansas is probably going to, and I had a marathon that morning. Like the next morning, I had a marathon, and as a pacer, like the marathon starts at 7 a.m. As a pacer, I had to check in. I had to go check into the Fulton Room, State House Convention Center. I had to be there at 6 a.m. So, which meant I had to get up at like 4:10 just so I could get up and get ready. 4:10, like 4:15. I actually got up at like 4:20. But point is, I was going to look for any excuse to go to bed early. I was like, if this game does not go well, if I can just tell Arkansas is not gonna win this game, I'm just going to go to sleep.
Yeah.
And I was surprised. In fact, I was getting ready to go to bed at halftime because by then it was over. And early in the second half, I said, okay, because Arkansas did get a smidge of momentum toward the end of the half. Like at the end of the half, Arkansas had like back to back buckets. And I was like, okay, something's clicking finally. I mean, a dead clock is right twice a day, but something started to click. And then halftime happened, and then they came back out, and then it was all Florida again. I said, okay, screw this, I'm going to bed. You hadn't even texted me, and I didn't even bother texting back because I was just ready to go to bed. I was like, no, this I agree with you, but yeah, this is a disaster. It was
I mean,
bad.
nothing. We couldn't hit anything. We were having layups going in and out. Like it was stupid. And then right before the game, they're like, "Oh yeah, Acuff, he's been taking it easy. He hadn't practiced in a couple of days, trying to rehab and everything else." I'm like, "Oh sweet." So the guy hadn't practiced in like 4 days. I doubt he's going to be on point, and he was not. Was
Yeah,
not.
they weren't wide open layups, but they are shots that Arkansas players normally hit. But they couldn't hit anything. Nobody. Billy Richmond was the only bright spot in that game. And he's been so good for like 6, 7 straight games. He's been so good. That was the worst game Acuff has ever played as a
He's
Razorback.
bound to have an off game, and that was it.
Yeah. Well,
But
I was beginning to think he never would, and then I Darius Acuff is the best Razorback basketball player I have ever seen. That I have ever seen. Now, I had mentioned that to my dad. He said, "Yeah, he's really good, and I'm sure he's up there, but." There were also some really good players. Sidney Moncrief, Todd Day, of course, Corliss Williamson, back on the 94 national championship team, 95 team that got back there. Uh, yeah, there were some really good players, but yeah, Joe Johnson. But Darius Acuff is the best Razorback basketball player I have ever seen. And he finally had a bad game against Florida. And Florida is also really good. I mean, that's a really good
really
team.
tall too. Really
Yeah,
good and really tall. It's
yeah,
ridiculous.
that the where's he from? Nigeria, the
Yeah.
center, really good player. Um, now he did get, and here's one thing that has gotten on my nerves, and we talked about it when it came to Arkansas, Alabama, how bad the officiating was.
Yeah.
And it was one sided in that game at Alabama. Now, the officiating had nothing to do with this game Saturday. Florida would have
There's a little bit
won.
of quit to blame on Arkansas too on that.
Yeah. Well, Florida would have won that game no matter how bad the officiating was, one way or
99
another.
out of 100 times, probably.
Yeah, but the officiating was still bad Saturday. It was still not good. That that Nigerian post player for Florida, he fully raked Nick Pringle in the face, and they called a foul on Pringle. Now I'm sure he's a good kid, but I am not a fan of Nick Pringle, the basketball player, at least for Arkansas. He just has not been good for them. And but you see him when gets called for that foul, and he just goes, "What the f?" The camera goes to his face, and he's not throwing a temper tantrum, but he's just genuinely frustrated, like, "What the f?" And he goes to the official, and he's calmly saying, "Hey, I didn't do anything to this guy. Like, what are you seeing?" At least that's the Cliff Notes version, I would assume.
Mhm.
And then you go look at the replay, and even Jay Billis is like, "Yeah, that's not a foul on Pringle. If anything, it's a clear flagrant on this other on this other guy from Florida." And they did go back and call a flagrant on him, the guy from Florida, but they still called a foul on Pringle, and he didn't foul him at all. Um, so as critical as I have been of Nick Pringle's play, because sometimes I think when he's out there, Arkansas is better with four players. It's like, just go ahead and pull him, and let's just keep four out there. Let's just go with four if that's what we're going to do. But Pringle is absolutely in the right then. But the officiating in the SEC in basketball has been very poor this season.
I was surprised they overturned that goaltending call. That was, I don't know. I seen the ball going down. He reached the apex and it started on its way down, and then the guy swatted it, and then they reversed it and said it was goaltending. Didn't
Yeah,
agree with
that
that
was
one.
another one. It looked like goaltending to me also. Um, it was close, but it did look like goaltending. And if anything, there
It,
wasn't enough to overturn it. It's just been
oh,
bad officiating all year. Again, Florida would have won that game regardless. What'd you think of the exchange between Calipari and Goldman? Is it or Golden? Is it Golden? Todd Golden?
golden.
Yeah,
I didn't see it.
I did. Um, Golden's a heck of a coach. Clearly, a national champion coach, and obviously Calipari is too. Golden was completely ridiculous during that whole exchange. I mean, he's clearly heated up as far as, and I mean, fired up, about his team playing so well. But he was over there arguing about them calling a flagrant on the Nigerian player who clearly had a flagrant foul. And I think Calipari was just basically like, "What are you arguing?" He clearly fouled my guy here. If anything, I should have a gripe because my guy didn't even foul him. And then Golden does this to him, and then Calipari gets heated. It was one of the few interesting spots of that game. So if anything, I'm glad it happened just so I could stay interested. But I don't know. Anyway, we're out of time, so we're gonna have to get out of here. But it's been a fun episode. But we'll see y'all next time. Till then, I'm Grandpa.
Brother Brown.
Deuces, y'all.
Peace.